everybody, I'm Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and I'm here to remind you that you are on a journey. Your life is about fulfilling or walking on a path such as this, a path that is made and designed just specifically for you. My journey is not your journey is not mine. But let me encourage you to take that step, to take that leap, to go out and find out who you were called to be and what you were called to do. Just ask God, what fuels your passion? I guarantee you it's something surrounding your passion. I'm just here, as I said, to encourage you and to remind you to just say yeah. And the way to do that is to step out. Hey everybody, it's Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and I'm here. We're talking about what it means to love me, love life, live healthy, and I already have some people on the call. We're going to go ahead and just jump right in to this segment. We're going to talk today amongst ourselves. I have Taylor Erica Ross here, and I have Lexa Rosa. Later in the segment, we'll have Rosa Alejandra. And I also have Shawuana, aka Lightning, here with me. And we're going to just do a talk about how we really feel right now. Yes. There's so much going on that's affecting us in our every part of our being, in our health, spiritually, emotionally, physically. We are being weighed down with the weight of what's going on in the world. Yes. So we need to take a time to just stop and take a breath and see how we feel. So I'm going to open this up so we can get right into this talk because time does go fast.
Yes, it does.
I want to ask, and another thing I want to point out.
Yes.
We have a few of us, because perspective is everything. We're talking across some of the generations. No, I don't have every generation represented here, but I do have I have my Gen Zs in the house.
Yes.
Gen Zs in the house. I have my millennial in the house. A Zennial will come on later on, and Gen X is sitting right here. So we're going to just talk and see, and we're going to probably find out that we're more alike than we realize.
Absolutely.
So let me open this up. Taylor, tell me, with everything that's been going on, how do you really feel?
A lot of stress during this time, a lot of uncertainty. I'm hopeful for what's gonna happen afterwards, but it is pretty a little scary, a little stressful.
Hold on just a second. We're having just a few technical difficulties. Hold on just a second. We're going to fix it right now. In the meantime, I just want to encourage everybody to remember to be safe in these times.
Absolutely.
That means wash your hands.
Come on.
Wash your hands. Lavarse las manos. Very important. Wear your masks. Lightning and I are doing the shelter in place together, so that's why we're here together. But that's also why everyone else is calling in. But we want you to know that be safe. Take this time. I know on our journey here today, we saw so many people out on the street.
So many people are out and about.
I don't even
understand
shelter
in place. Lots of cars on the road. So
for no reason. So if you really don't need to go to the store, go home.
Stay home.
Yes. Take little walks. Be healthy, do what you need to do for peace of mind. It's a nice day, go outside. But just going shopping or trying to just go and hang out, let's not do that. That's why we're shelter in place is for a reason.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to check here and see how things are going with the technical part of this, and we're going to move forward. And Taylor, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can't hear me, or you can?
Yeah.
You can? Okay.
Perfect.
How do you feel?
Can you guys hear me?
Oops. Hold on just a second.
Say it again, please.
Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
How do you...
So during this time, I'm feeling a lot of stress. I'm not going to say a little bit. A lot of stress just with school and just a different change in my routine.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of stress right now. I am feeling hopeful on what's going to happen afterwards, but I don't know, a lot of stress right now.
Okay, okay. And of course, you know I'm pesty, so we're going to get more into exactly what stress, because stress looks different to everybody.
That's
so
right.
we're going to just find out what that stress is. Now, mind you, stress for everybody is real. So whatever we share today is our testimony.
That's right.
Whatever we share today is from our experience. So everybody's story is true to them.
Yes.
So we're going to go forward. So I'm going to get back to you, Taylor, and get some more into that. So Alexa Emma Rosa, which
Yes,
happens to be my
Alexa.
niece, tell us, how do you really feel?
Honestly, it's the same. Schools that coming to a close right now, so finals and everything. It's just a lot. And there's like a lot of uncertainty, which honestly for me is really hard because I like to know what's going on. So like I'm kind of taking this as like a learning experience of like learning how to like, go with the flow on things.
Okay, and you know, again, I'm going to come back to you because we're going to open this conversation
Absolutely.
more. I need to really get into how you really feel and your thoughts during these times. And Lightning, tell me,
Yes.
how do you really feel?
Right now, I'm feeling very hopeful. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't feel that way right now, but there's so much opportunity in this moment of having the shelter in place. So for me, even though the work is a lot right now with, working from home and my little ones, it's still a lot that's getting accomplished. There's so many good things that are coming out of this. So when I tell you I'm very hopeful at this moment, and I'm actually feeling quite good. So I'm adjusting really well, and I'm so thankful for that. Yes.
So, Yasmina, aka Thunder,
Yes.
I'm going to
Listen.
ask myself, all
How
right.
are you
I'm going to
doing?
ask myself,
How are you?
am I doing?
How are you doing?
Okay, here it goes. Honestly, it depends on the moment.
Got it.
Overall, I really am doing well. You know, I say this quite often because it's true. Life is equally horrible and wonderful at the same time. And that's really how it's been. Through the course of a 24-hour period, I have every emotion come my way. One thing I will say is when I feel, there's times I'm frustrated, times a couple days ago, or was it yesterday? The days run together. I wanted to cry, feeling overwhelmed,
Right.
feeling like I'm behind, feeling tired, and just feeling happy and goofy.
Yeah.
Depending on whatever that moment is, but what I can say that has held true with every one of my emotions is encapsulated in all of it
Yeah.
is the peace of God. And
Ooh.
honestly,
like
that's what's
that.
brought me through.
I like that.
That's what's grounded me. That's the anchor that I've been holding on to, because if not, well,
Well,
you guys
yeah.
I might have been a news story.
I like how you
But,
say that
yeah.
when you said that peace component of it. I feel like a lot of people at this moment don't have that peace, and they're searching
True.
for it in the midst of all that's going on. So peace, yeah, I like that whole part of it.
So, Taylor, tell me, what are some of the emotions that have come your way through this time that you have been shut in?
Like I said, like stress, but also kind of like a calmness too, because I have like a lot of time to myself. Sadness, but also like excitement and like plans that I have like set for myself for like when this is like past and moved on. Happiness when I do get to talk to my family or be around my family. There's a lot of different ones, honestly. Like you said, it's just like every day something else, or throughout the day a different emotion.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Alexa, tell me, what are your emotions, the mixed emotions, but what are they?
Honestly, a little bit of everything. Like being stuck in my house with my family 24/7. Sometimes there's some really good times. Sometimes there's a lot of like little tech fights that we have over nothing, just because we're sick of each other. But honestly, it's just been kind of all over the place. Some days I'm on top of the world, have a bunch of energy, and other days I don't get out of bed till 6 o'clock because I know I need to eat. It's just kind of all over the place, but it's never been really, really bad.
Okay. Well, you know, I happen to know that today we're talking with, it just so happens that we're single. I didn't plan it that way, but it just happened that way. But with that being said, how has that played a part for you? I know me personally, I've had so much going on, wearing so many hats at one time, so many things to juggle, that I was telling Shawuana here earlier that I don't see where another person could be in the mix, because I wouldn't feel like I'd be fair. I wouldn't have enough time for them because I haven't had time for me. So, but some people I know that I've spoken to, not just this group, but others that wish they were with somebody during this time. They feel lonely. How has that played out for you, Lightning?
Oh, wow. For me, myself, I must say, I'm not one to have those feelings of loneliness. I am a single woman. However, the loneliness feelings don't play a part with me right now, just because there's so much other things that I'm doing with work, with my kids, first of all, in my word every day, praying to God. Those are moments that keep me busy. So I must say, honestly, I'm just really keeping myself busy, So there's no room at this time for me to really have those feelings. And I just secure myself in God, honestly. And that's pretty much where I keep it, even in the midst of all of this. Security-wise, I know I'm safe with Him. But I have heard a lot of people say that they feel lonely and would like someone there with them during this time because they're isolated. I just think at this point, if you were feeling isolated, these were feelings you were having before this COVID-19, the shelter in place. So it just kind of exposes it.
You know what? Those are some good points, and I'm smiling as you're talking because we do have some Gen Zs, and things are different. I know things were different when I was younger, so being younger, how is it being single during these times? Alexa, let's start with you. We're gonna switch it up.
All right.
Honestly, like, the being lonely part doesn't really have anything to do with it. It's more of like I just crave affection in that type of way because I'm very affectionate person. I love hugs. I love even just with friends. I love being affectionate, so that's kind of more where I'm coming from on the loneliness side of it, because I talk to my friends all the time. My friends are kind of like my relationship because I've wanted to be single and I want to work on myself. So the looking for a relationship isn't really part of the loneliness. It's more of the affection side of it.
Got it.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say something real quick before Taylor goes on. Okay, Nisi Pugh, I like that part that you're not really looking for that right now. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. And Taylor, we're going to get into, you have a moment to think about that question and what your thoughts are on that. I know that you have a normal thing you normally do when you guys and your friends and you go to a specific restaurant and hang out, and I know that may have been a little difficult because now you can't. So when we come back from this break, we're gonna start with you, and we're gonna find out how you're handling being single during these times. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and I'm here just to give you words of encouragement. Listen, you are a gift. Imagine getting a present at Christmas time, wrapped up, beautiful, inside something that you have asked for, but you don't open that gift. You don't take the ribbon off, open the box, and get inside to get what you really possess. You are that gift. God has given you to the world, wrapped up with a beautiful ribbon. Now it's time for you to open the box. It's time for you to seek your heart, to seek God's face, to see who you were meant to be all that you were called to be. Don't be afraid. In fact, in spite of your fear, step out anyway. Each step will empower you. I just want to remind you that you are a gift for the world. My name is Yasmina, and I would like to remind you to just say yeah. And of course, you know me, I am Yasmina. And if you just tuned in, I am here. We're talking across some of the generations. We don't have every generation represented here, but we do have a few. We have a Zennial, we have Gen Z, we have Gen X, we have Millennial. And we're going to just talk about how we really feel. And you're sharing in our conversation. We're sharing how we feel. We
Yeah.
don't know how you feel, but we can share how we feel, and maybe you'll relate. We just want you to know that even though we are in shelter in place and we are apart, we are closer than we think. So
right.
I have some wonderful
good.
guests with me today. I have Taylor Erica Ross, Alexa Rosa, that's my niecey right there. I have Rosa Alejandra. Oh, there she is. And she is the mirror expert. So she deals with women and finding out who they are and getting to the root of what's going on. And we have the one and only Shawuana Himes here, aka Lightning.
Lightning.
And she's also a mental health specialist. She
Yes.
works for the city of Fresno. So we have a group. And then, of course, me. Hey,
can't
just
forget
reminding
about
you about
you.
loving you, love life, and living healthy. So we left off. And I'm going to let you know, Rosa, what the question was.
Yes.
We left off with Taylor. We asked her, how does it feel during this shelter in place? And has being single affected it? How has that felt or looked like for her during this time? Taylor,
You up?
you're up.
Well, like before the shelter in place even started, I was still kind of like new to dating. And
Hold
the
on just a
whole
second, Taylor.
aspect-
Okay, go.
Before the pandemic, I was just kind of starting to get into dating and all of that. So it was kind of interesting to figure it out. I
Okay.
think it's kind of like what Alexa was saying, just during this time, it's not really like I need somebody. You know, it's just kind of like that affection would be nice, I guess. But I'm not like stressing, like, oh my God, I don't have a boyfriend. You know, it's not that serious. But I mean, like during this time, boredom kind of creeps in. So that's like, you know, downloading Bumble or Tinder and like trying those things out. But it just never really works out. It's just like, eh. And then I just delete it. And so that's been like for the quarantine.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. And, I'll be back to pester you some more. So before I ask you, Rosa, this question, which I pretty much already asked you, tell us, who are you?
Me, Rosa?
Yes.
Oh, hi, I'm Rosa.
Hey,
I'm
Rosa.
just messing with you. I'm
Rosa.
tripping. That's what I'm doing because I'm outside and there's bees, so I'm tripping. But anyway, my name is Rosa Alejandra. I am the mirror expert. I help teach women to heal through the mirror. So I help them become their own oracles and find all of their blocks and their traumas, bring them to the surface. So I kind of work with the shadow a lot.
Okay.
I absolutely love what I do. And other than that, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a sister. I'm just me, really.
So tell me, businesswoman, CEO, how is it? It just so happens, I mentioned in the last segment, that we all just happen to be single. It wasn't planned that way, but since we are, I posed the question, how has it been for you during this time in being single?
I would say lovely. I'm actually single per se. I have a relationship, which
Per
is a long
se.
distance relationship on purpose.
Okay.
So this is my jam. I am in a stage in my life where I admit I am extremely selfish right now. So basically, I'll hit you up when I want to. I don't feel like it right now, so we're far away. So this right here, quarantine is suiting me very well, to be completely honest.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I can, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let me ask you this, and anybody can jump in on this question. Do you feel, self-care is a big thing. So have we really been taking time for self-care? I'll go ahead and answer first, and then we can pop in there. Personally, I've realized that because my life is actually as busy as it was before, it's more hectic and busier now. And with building a business and working full time and being a full-time parent, a full-time teacher,
Yes,
which is
homeschool
not
teacher.
my gig, I repeat, not my gig. It has been a lot. So the reality of it is self-care has kind of taken a back burner. I'm the kind of person who likes to travel. So my self-care is traveling and taking time to myself. So that has been stopped. So I'm looking for ways of doing self-care now that I'm stuck in the house. I can't say
Right.
I'm bored in the house and I'm bored. No, I'm pretty much busy in the house and I'm busy in the house.
Yes, I like that.
So tell me, since you came on the call last, Rosa, what's self-care look like for you? And
Yes.
and are you able to do that?
Absolutely. Well, I'm an exennial, so I am extremely adaptable. You give me what you want to give me, and I'm going to adapt. And something that I have learned in this past couple of years is self-care looks like whatever your body tells you it looks like.
Ooh, I like
It's
that.
not what you think it looks like.
Ooh, I like
so
that.
self-care for me comes very easily because I am in tune with what I need. I listen to my body, and
That's
if it
good.
says shut up, sorry, there's a bee. if it says be quiet, sit down, read a book, or take a nap, that's what I do. To me, that's self-care. Self-care is
like
not
it.
necessarily having somebody else care for me. That's not self-care. That's you care for me, right? I don't need you to put your hands on me for me to feel good. I learned to do that for myself. So I think it's just learning to listen to you and what you need and giving it to yourself. I personally think that's what self-care, and that's what I do.
Ooh, I like that.
Got it.
I like that a lot. And something that you said resonated with me, and it's so true. Self-care, it's not what people necessarily say it should be. It's what I'm paraphrasing what you said, but it's what
looks like
what it looks like for me. And I have to stop there and realize that I actually then in that case have been doing self-care. I love working out. And working out and stretching is self-care for me. And I have to admit, during this time, I have not skipped a beat.
You have
So
not.
I guess that's why I'm somewhat sane.
Same.
Tell me,
Yes.
what is
yes.
self-care for you?
Oh gosh, self-care, which is very, very important. For me, honestly, it's getting in a place to where I'm able to have it quiet, read books. Y'all, anyone who knows me knows I love to read. So for me,
Nonstop.
my Bible,
She reads all the
there's
time.
like 10 books I'm reading right now, right? But literally, it's that place to where I'm able to shut everything down from the day because the day is very busy. There's kids. There's so much that's involved in the regular part of my day that for me, when self-care, it's time for self-care, it's like, okay, move everything out the way. It's time for Shawuana. It's time for me and God. It's time for me to educate myself and read more. And I love it. For some people, they may be like, you can sit there and read those many books for that many hours. Yeah. Like that's me. That's my self-care. And like Rosa said, it may not look like someone else's. This is what it looks like for me though. So I get so much pleasure out of that moment. And when I take advantage of my self-care and do it.
Ooh, I like it. Tell me, Taylor, self-care, what does that look like for you?
Yeah.
Lately, you guys have helped me with that, and it's been working out. I think that's really been just something that, like, my routine was so, like, kind of snatched away from me. I had, like, no control over everything with school and work.
Yeah.
So I think, like, holding myself accountable to working out and moving definitely is self-care, and also
Nice.
just kind of to manage my stress, just trying to relax and take time for myself where it's devoted time where I'm not like mindlessly just like on Twitter or Instagram, just kind of like maybe calling people that I miss on FaceTime or reading or trying to do an art of some sort has been my kind of way to help myself out during this time, but definitely the working out, I think.
I love it.
Nice.
Okay,
Moving.
Emma, Emma, tell us, self-care, what does that look like for you?
Yes.
Well, like you guys said, working out is a huge one. It's self-care and it's stress relief and like just everything all in one. It makes me feel good about myself and like feels like I accomplished things. So it's like an overall like morale booster for me. And also like when I'm not working out, like for me doing makeup is like a huge like
Nice.
thing for me. I love doing makeup, so like I've posted things like on Facebook, so I'm like getting all these requests from people. So I've just been doing my makeup like every single day, just for like kind of myself to like get myself through all the hours I have nothing to do, and also listening to music kind of fixes like everything for me. No matter how I'm feeling, I can listen to music and it can either help me feel a certain way, or I can get myself pumped up, or anything that I need to do, I can do that to music.
I love it. I love it. Self-care is so very important.
It
And
is.
I have a question for Rosa. I have a question for you with regards to women in business. I know some of us, and I'm asking it even from myself. This week, I gave myself permission to be okay with not getting everything done.
good.
To be okay with not getting through my deadlines and things of what I think they should look like. Can you help me to expound on that and tell me, as a woman, CEO, how does it feel thinking that, or has it gotten to you the feeling of, I need to get this done, this done, this done, the timeline, I have the time. They say I have the time to do it, but does it seem overwhelming for you at times?
Well, again, there is a backstory to everything I do now. And before this new CEO of this new business, I was a CEO of a physical dance fitness studio, and I worked that way. This has to be done. People depend on me. I have to show up. And even though I would have other instructors, people wanted me, so I would be teaching, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. So I no longer allow myself to do that. I give myself permission to listen to my body, because thanks to that past life, I ended up injured, and now I have an illness. So it is so important as a businesswoman, as a woman, period, to give yourself, like you say, permission to be you, to feel the way you feel, and to honor that. And also, I think that as a businesswoman, if we set boundaries from the beginning, which before I didn't know how to set, it's going to work out for you. As a businesswoman, I have office hours from 8 to 5, even if you work from home, or you can reach me between this and these hours. And when you send me a message, I will reply within 24 hours. You have to set up yourself for success regardless, because it is a business, and the business expects of you, especially if it's bringing in money. So you are due to your business, but as a CEO, you get to set your rules. So just definitely set yourself up for success since the beginning, with autoresponders, with your boundaries, with your rules, with your office hours, so that when you have down days, you really don't have to worry about it. That's my personal take. That's what I do now. And I go honestly by the way I feel. And so far, I've been pretty much, on the roll, even if I take 2 days off. It doesn't matter.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for bringing up a very important thing that over the time I've had to actually learn how to do, and that's the word boundaries.
Boundaries.
What does that word mean when you hear that word? And how do you implement that? And do you implement that in your life?
Oh gosh, boundaries. I must say that hasn't been something I've always implemented, and I found myself being a yes woman. So every time when someone asks me to do something, oh yes, I'll do it in a sense to where I feel like I'm obligated in a sense, because you're talking about work and family stuff. Of course, I'm just like, well, I'll make a way to, we'll make it work, not knowing that I'm sacrificing other things. So those boundaries are really important, because I was sacrificing home and time and my own self-care. So over the years, I learned, like, wait a minute, you got to set these boundaries, because if not, I was sacrificing myself and my mental health, and that was something that I couldn't do. So boundaries are very important for ourselves and for our family, because it affects other parts of our lives and people in our lives if we don't set those.
It absolutely does. So I thank you, Rosa, for bringing that up,
Yes,
because
thank you.
I had to remind myself this week of that, and
Yes.
you bringing that up just helps me to go, see, it's okay.
That's right.
So
Set those
thank
boundaries.
you. I need
Thank you.
boundaries, and it's okay.
And if it's okay to add this, if we don't set boundaries, we get burnt out.
Yes.
If we get
Burnout.
we cannot serve. And if
Yes.
we cannot serve, everybody that we pretty much train to depend on us get mad at us because suddenly we can't serve. So setting boundaries, you're pretty much setting yourself up for success, and you're kind of training your dragons around you.
That's
so train your
right.
dragons, set your boundaries.
And
I
burnout is
love
real.
it.
Yes.
You know what? Thank you for pointing that out.
Absolutely.
And that is true. If we ultimately, every one of us across the generations want to be successful, and we
Yes.
want to come out of this more that we've learned something. And I believe that we all are learning on this
Yes.
journey. We and like I said at the beginning of the clip, in the little video clip about being a gift, I just want everyone out there to remember that you are a gift.
That's right.
You are a gift. And even though, and every gift has a purpose and for who it's for. And so when we think about this situation that we're in, you know, you buy a gift at Christmas time and you wrap it up, you put it under the Christmas tree. So it was in the store first, then it was in your trunk, then it's under the tree. In other words, now it's wrapped. The point is, every stage of it, it still had a purpose. So we right now are wrapped up. So
Yeah.
we, the gifts, we are wrapped up in the Christmas tree of our homes. We are sitting under the tree wanting somebody to shake us.
Yeah,
But
come on.
our purpose still remains the same.
That's right.
So whatever purpose God has for you, whatever purpose and whatever journey you started out with, it's still you, the gift. That's still the path you're supposed to take.
That's right.
So when we come back, we are going to pose the question of, I asked people, how many people are up at night or having difficulty sleeping during this stay in place time? So we're going to talk about that topic after the next break.
All right.
See you in a minute.
Yes.
Felt like I'm just stuck in a rut. Well, that's what this whole Love Me, Love Life, Live Healthy is about. It's about going forward and not being stuck. And the way to do that is to first just stop and assess, where am I? What is going on? What things do I need to stop in my life? What things do I need to omit from my life? We need to listen to cues, listen to what's positive, listen to what's negative. Whatever's negative, nope. All right, everybody. I am Yasmina of Just Say Yeah, and I'm here with some lovely ladies, and we are talking about what it means to love me, love life, live healthy.
Yes.
What it means and how we are really feeling during this time that we are shut in, apart, yet together.
Yes.
We are discovering that we are closer than we think. We are. We have Zennial here. Raise your hand, Zennial, in the house. We have Rosa, our Zennial. Hey. We have our Gen Zs. Dun, dun, dun. We have our Millennial. You know, the Millennials.
Yeah.
And we have a Gen X in the house.
Oh.
So, and like I said, not all generations represented, but we just wanted to have an open talk with how we feel, what
Right.
we're going through during this time, what emotions we're having. And I posed a question on Facebook a couple weeks ago. I wanted to know, it was a night I was up. And hey, how many other people are up during this time? And if you're up, is it because you're restless? Is it because you have ideas? Is it because you're just full of energy?
Right.
Is it because you're nervous? Like, if you are, how many people are up? And if you are up, why? Just curious. Alexa, tell me, are you up at night?
Yeah, I mean,
She's saying, yeah, I mean.
Okay,
I haven't been having.
hold on just a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready? Tell me.
So I haven't been having trouble falling asleep. So around 2 in the morning evenings. It's been like I just have really crazy dreams lately. Like very vivid, like and I never dream. So it's been really weird. I've been so messed with all of my dreams.
Okay, so just to make sure, because we had just a little bit of issues in the beginning, you have been up, or when you have been up, or when you do sleep, you're up because of dreams. You've been having different dreams lately. Are you able to remember the dreams when you wake up?
Yes.
You are. Are you writing them down?
No, I've thought about it, but I always forget.
Yeah, why don't you put a journal right by your bed and write them down. Write them down.
Wake up.
I know that in one of the groups that Rosa's doing right now, we're journaling right now. And
Nice.
sometimes, as much as I tell people to journal, I realize there's times it's difficult to journal. It's kind of funny how that works.
Right. That's true, though.
So I am telling you something that sometimes I struggle with, but do it. So that's what I would suggest. And then we can dig into that further because you know I'm pesty. So, Taylor, tell me, are you up at night? And if you are, why?
Yeah, I definitely am up during the night. It's usually anxiety or I think just insomnia. I just can't go to sleep. I don't know what it is. But kind of like Alexa, I've been having really vivid dreams that are like almost like they can actually happen in real life, which is really weird. And almost every single night I'm having a dream like that. But I think a lot of me not being able to sleep, it's been like that since before the pandemic. I just have a hard time sleeping at night. I'll get like 4 hours at most. But I think it's due to anxiety, probably. Just my head. My mind is always, always going. I don't know how to shut it off. To
Okay.
be honest, it's hard.
Okay. Well, I definitely, as myself and a couple of the ladies here, I'm sure have some suggestions with that. So, and we're going to ask for those suggestions momentarily. But you too, get a journal, put it by your bed. Let's start there, and then we're going to go forward.
Okay.
Rosa, what about you? Are you up and why?
I have been up. I have been up for about 3 weeks now. And number one, the creative juices are flowing.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the night represents like calm for me.
Okay.
And that's when I start moving faster, right? I actually start creating more. But second is I am seeing the connection between how I revert to eating sugar and carbs. And that, of course, is going to keep me up at night because my body's reacting to it. So I'm very aware of that. If I do feel anxiety, if I feel some kind of depression, if I feel lethargic, I know it has to do with what I ate that day. So that's something that I have been fixing this last week. And now I'm falling asleep around 10, 11 p.m. So it's a lot. It really has a lot to do for me personally and what I eat. And the journaling, ever since I've been doing the journaling with the group, I don't have all these thoughts in my head because I dump them on the paper.
Yes,
so I
great. I love that. I love that. And I'm going to come back to you to have you give us a couple tips regarding those that are sleepless. Hello, Shawuana.
Yes.
Tell me, are you up at night?
You know what? My schedule's almost the same. I would say I'm up late because, not just because of the pandemic, I'm always up late anyways, in a
Reading.
sense. Reading.
She's
She's
reading.
right.
Which is good,
It's
though.
so true, right? But no, my schedule has been pretty much the same. I really wish I need to adjust my schedule so that I go to sleep earlier. But what happens, I do find myself up and I'm actually finishing up the day. Like I said, right now, due to the pandemic, I'm working from home and my days are busy. So as I shut it down, I find myself with so many other things to do, which stretches out my day even longer. So yeah, I'm up, but I would say it's not too much different than my regular schedule, honestly. And I try to stay up longer, honestly, to read more. So that's for me.
So, am I up? I'm going to ask myself the question.
Yes.
Are you up at night and why? Well, yes, I am. And it's not because I go to bed and I'm restless. It's not for that reason. Because if I lay down, I'm out.
That's it.
So it's not that I'm restless. It's just making the decision to finally call it a night has been difficult for me. Because at that point, first of all, I'm just going to confess, the kids barely are eating dinner at 9 o'clock at night. It is what it is. Whatever.
A reality, right?
They're not starving. If you've seen my kids, they're not starving. So by the time we get home and settled, because I'm going into the office, and by the time we get back home and everything, it's late. So we're finally eating dinner about 9. Well, now I have kids around me showing me dances, singing songs, TikTok. TikTok, boy, it's TikTok for a reason. TikTok, TikTok. Hour later, I'm like, what is happening?
Yes.
Brenna, show me the dance. Brenna, show me the dance. So,
That's funny.
and that's the time that normally I have my laptop on the table because that's when I'm trying to do the just say yeah stuff. And
Yeah.
so at that point, I honestly feel like I hit my second wind. I'm like Rosa. That's when I'm like, oh, now it's on now. And so I'm
Right,
like, it's
right.
midnight, but now I'm like, I
Ready.
can do this, I could do that, I could do this. So just telling myself and giving myself permission to shut it down is something that I'm realizing I need to do because it leaves me tired the next day. I wake up going, what the heck? I just slept 3 hours, but it was really my fault. So, yeah, that's about
So
that.
what would you say? What was the response when you posed that question a few weeks ago? What was the main response from people? Are they up?
Ooh, everybody's up. Of all the posts I've posted in a long time, that's I got the most responses because everybody was up. And everybody says their schedules are topsy-turvy.
Yes.
Everybody says that everything's just upside down. They have a lot on their mind. They're just up. And so that's the reason why I'm going to ask everybody here. I'm going to actually ask my Zennial and Millennial to give me 2 tips, but I'm going to start with my Gen Zs. Can you give a tip? Think hard, think hard. Give a tip that you would give to somebody on how to talk themselves down off the ledge or how to relax at night. Taylor, you start. What one thing would you give them? What would you suggest?
I would like to know. um, I know it's important to like be present in the moment, but I think possibly think about the things that you're going to achieve in the future. Like, it's still gonna happen. Like this may be going on right now, but it's not gonna be the end of the time where you can achieve that.
I
So
like
kind
it.
of know that this is not in our control. This
All right.
some people might look at it as a setback or a point in like getting their stuff together.
Right.
So I think maybe looking at it in a better light, just like, okay, this gives me more time to kind of relax a little bit, get my thoughts in order, figure everything out, and know that this is not in my control, and what is in my control, I'm gonna figure out and fix it, or try to achieve it, and just know that this is not the end of whatever
Oh,
goal.
I like that.
All right.
That was good. Alexa, Emma
Alexa.
Rosa, what would you suggest?
Honestly, like for me, what helps kind of ground myself is like get away from like anything on my phone or TV, because most of the time, like everything like on Twitter or Facebook, like all the things that pop up either make you think about somebody else's life or it's about what's going on in the world. And most of it right now, like on the news, is all negative because like that's kind of like the frame how everything's being put in right now. So for me, like it helps to just kind of put everything down, be in the moment, play with my dogs, talk to my family, and just kind of have a more like personal interaction, rather than look for interactions like through the internet.
I like that. Actually, I love that. Taylor, that makes perfect sense. You're right. This is not the end all. Life is still moving.
Right.
It is what it is. We're moving forward. This is just a time and place. And so we must look at the positive because there is a positive in everything.
Absolutely.
And Alexa, thank you for sharing because you're right. We need to unplug. We need to, me personally, like I've said before, I don't watch the news every day because why would I feed myself that?
Right.
So unplugging and just being grounded in the now is extremely important. So, Rosa, Alejandra, can you tell us 2 things that you would suggest?
I'm gonna get a little bit more technical. Is
All
that
right.
okay?
Please, that's why I asked you.
You already knew that.
I did.
So, okay, so the thing about it is that we get used to singing I'm a night owl or I'm a creative or, I think better at night. But the truth is that if we want to even move forward healthier and faster, we need to accomplish a good night's sleep.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's very
And
good answer.
and what we
Yeah.
don't understand is how the the clock, your internal clock works, and how the clock of the world works, you know, your
Right.
outer clock.
Right.
And we should be in bed and sleep by 10 p.m. at least, so that your body heals and recuperates for the
That's
next
it.
day. Otherwise, you're going to have the same
Yeah.
problems the next day. And what happens is that during the day, we have the sun and we have everything happening and giving us energy. At night, we don't have the sun to give us energy, so we start producing cortisol.
That's
Cortisol to help us, you know, catch up with everything that we want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
cortisol will keep us awake. Cortisol will make us gain weight. Cortisol will increase our anxiety, our stress levels, and everything. So my suggestion, one thing is just be aware of that, and just with the purpose of lowering your cortisol levels, you'll start being able to sleep better and earlier. And the second thing is definitely don't eat or drink anything caffeinated after 5,
Yeah.
even 4 p.m. if you're very reactive. And start unwinding. Just like in the morning when you wake up, you can just run a mile, right? You have to warm up and stretch. And the same thing at night, you have to unwind.
I
So
love
set
it.
yourself up for success by looking at your schedule and say, hey, I can start unwinding around 7, let's say, just so I can finally get to bed by 10. And like Yasmina said, it happens to me too. I have been up here looking at TikTok at 11 p.m. or trying to learn a new dance. And then when I finally lay down, I've heard myself say, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for my bed.
Yeah.
And I can hear him clearly say, your bed's been there. You just didn't want to lay down.
That's right. That's right.
Your bed has been there all freaking day.
Waiting-
You just
Waiting
didn't want to lay
on
down.
you.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's true. My
That's
bad.
right.
Good night.
That's right.
So-
That's right.
So those are my 2 tips.
Nice.
Those were excellent tips. And, you know, one of the things that I talk about always is love me, love life, live healthy. And that's an
Yes.
important thing to understand. And I thank you, Rosa, for that. That's very important to understand that your body regenerates and heals in sleep. So
Yes.
I loved how she was technical, because how can you can't negate that. It is what it is.
That's
We do
right.
need to go to sleep. And so it's something that has been happening across the board. So I really wanted to stress the importance, and I wanted everyone here to share in, you know, what they feel and what it looks like to them in turning it down. And Miss Lightning, tell me,
Yes.
what are 2 tips you have?
Definitely, to go along with what Rosa was saying, we need to definitely set these schedules. What happens is now we're trying to stay up late, and sleep is so very important. I mean, a lot of people didn't even get the proper sleep before the pandemic. But now I would just suggest set your schedule as if you were going to work. For those who are working from home, set your schedule, plan it out, be very intentional on how you're going to map out your sleep. How are you going to map out your day? And when it's time to shut it down, when you say, hey, at this hour I need to sleep, shut it down. Take everything else and say, listen, if I didn't get it done, it's okay. We can finish it tomorrow. But at the same time, we don't want to negate the sleep because it's so important, right? And I would just say as a tip, I mean, take a nice, do whatever works for you. That's self-care. Take a hot bath, read a book, you know, I mean, whatever it takes for you, pray. Do those things right before to help you to get to sleep faster.
I like that, because that's truly, literally the 2 piggybacking. Look at the generations can piggyback.
Yes.
And it's the truth. It's like Rosa was saying about unwinding, about Alexa saying about being present and unplugging from, you know, social media, and truly looking at things from the right perspective, as Taylor stated, with seeing that thing. This isn't the end all. And taking that time earlier in the day, earlier in the evening, to start winding down, to start relaxing. For me,
right.
and you know, I love laying on the floor on my back. It's my happy place. I just lay here. I want to do a show where I just lay on my back for an hour, because I love it. I just love laying on my back.
Some stretching.
But that's, when I do that, those nights are the best. Those are but it's the nights that I think I haven't given myself, I don't allow myself the time to do it, and I stay sitting at the computer.
Right.
Because I got to send an email out. Really, I can send it out in the morning. So everybody's tips, everybody's input was amazing. It's one of the things I want to remind you truly is about stopping, looking, and listening.
Listening, yeah.
We have to remember to stop the chaos in our mind, stop the chaos around us, because we really can. No, we can't stop the pandemic, but we can't control it. But there's no reason for us to allow it to control us.
Come on, that's right.
Take
that's
the
good.
tips that these beautiful ladies said today. first just understanding that you're not alone. We're all in this together, and we're all going through this. All of our emotions are ever which way, all topsy-turvy. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But just remember, it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
So just stop the madness. And we have to look at ourselves. Hey, you can get to the mirror expert for that. Look at ourselves. Look at our situations. Look at what's going on around us. And really look at where we are. Assess your situation and say, okay, now that I have stopped, let me look at it and be honest with myself. Let me be honest and say where I really am right now. And it's okay where you are. Because it can be changed.
That's right.
You can change it. You can fix it. But the first step is to see where you are.
That's right.
And to listen. Listen to your heart, because the heart matters. And listen to your passion. Listen to the gift that's inside of you, because we need you to come to your full fruition so you can truly serve where you're supposed to be served. So stop, look, and listen. And these ladies gave you a lot to listen to today. I want to remind you guys to get your books on Amazon. Just say it's a 40-day journey. So
love it.
What's going to happen? Next Sunday, we're starting a journey. It's Mother's Day.
Yes, it
and so
is.
what we're going to do in this community, Just Say Yeah community, is we're going to play the game of Mother May I. First, I want to tell you, yes, you may.
Yes, you may.
And as the oldest one on this panel, mother and grandmother, Mother May I, yes, you may. So I'm going to send some more information out this week. I want you to come on the journey with me, and 40 days to a new you.
Come on.
So look for that information on Facebook. Sign up this week, and we're going to start this journey next Sunday. So I'm excited about it. Any last things that anybody want to say? Taylor, do you have any last thing to say?
I think all the tips are great. I'm going to implement them. Journaling, my cortisol levels, just make sure everything is level, and making sure I'm doing everything I can.
Awesome.
I love it. Alexa, Emma, Rosa, my niecey poo, what do you have to say?
Pretty much the same thing, that like I'm just glad that I was able to come on and have an open discussion. So thank you.
All right. So, Rosa, tell me.
What was in my heart right now to say is really, I know that there is a lot of us in the house frustrated because we have things to do, we have dreams to pursue, and we feel like we can't, right? So even your dreams require you to require preparation. So this is your time to prepare, and more than anything, take care of your health. Try to sleep, try to lower your stress, because you want to set yourself up for success. Once this world opens again, you don't know if you're still going to be susceptible to the virus. So the best way to prepare is by taking good care of yourself right now, bringing your immune system up to par, making it healthy by sleeping, by lowering your stress, so that when you go back out, you don't get pushed right back in because you got sick. That is just so super important. That's what I wanted to say.
Ooh, that's very important and very key at this time. Immunity's boosted is everything.
Yes.
Miss Lightning, tell me.
Just know that you're not in this alone, and just get rid of the fear, because God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So we want to make sure that we are mentally healthy and physically healthy. So just set those boundaries, and remember, do whatever you need to do to get and keep your peace.
Peace is everything, and peace that surpasses all understanding.
Yes.
Understand that God equips and fuels you with the power to see his will come to pass in your life.
Come on.
And 3 John 2 does state, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prospers. So it is God's will that each and every one of you, each and every one of us, that we prosper in every area of our lives.
Right.
It is his will that we live a happy life. It is his will that we love our lives and that we love who we are.
Absolutely.
And so it's very important. Love me, love life, live healthy. That is God's will for you. I want you guys to go ahead and follow and like these young ladies. Rosa, Alejandra, the mirror expert. She is on all social media platforms, so look her up. Her name is there, Rosa Alejandra. Yes. And we have, and if you need more information, just let me know. I'll forward it to you.
Yes.
We have our mental health specialist here and the owner of Precision Line Dance, Shawuana Himes, aka Lightning, and reach out to these beautiful ladies.
Absolutely.
And they really have, this was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
I just thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being
Thank
here
you.
today, everybody. Thank you. And
Yes.
you know what I'm gonna say.
Uh-oh.
Hey, come on now. Remember to love me, love life, live healthy, and remember to just say yeah.
All right. Take care,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.